then
80%?
80%.
Oh,
So that is
so much.
considerably very high. So it's almost more powerful than Arable country.
How much is the cost and the price? It's affordable for private sector or for government to use it instead of the normal payment or something like that.
Water, as you rightly said, is a very important aspect in everyone's life.
Not just include the off-plan projects of the from the building that they want to install from scratch. For the existing building also we can apply
Yes,
it.
conserving of the water for all of this rain, together we created for this whole cycle of collecting all the rain and using the water wisely, we call it sponge city.
How many places we need in one community, one area?
So for collecting of the water, we created permeable surfaces. That means they look exactly like your tiles and bricks, but every drop which falls on it, it will harvest.
So you can mention that's a successful, I think, experience that we have to apply this sponge city. Hello everyone, we are here today to have a new episode of Kotook Talk with a special guest, Dr. Chandra Dake, head of Dake Group, that we want to talk about the very interesting and innovation that we have in managing the raining water and the role of this in the sustainable, having more sustainable communities. Dr. Chandra, welcome to our podcast today, and please have a brief introduction for yourself, and after that we can start immediately.
Thank you so much, Javed, and also for the Kotook for establishing such an interesting podcast and series. Myself, Dr. Chandra, I head up Day Group. We have introduced a couple of innovative technologies for the climate change. We are doing our bit of it towards the climate change, and our solutions are having a drastic impact. How water is conserved over different elements.
Okay, very nice. As you know, the water is one of the most important elements that we have in terms of climate change and global warming, and how we can have more sustainable communities as well. Because especially in this area the dry weather, and we have less raining instead of other areas in the world. So today we want to know what is your initiative that our audience would like to know more about that. And I don't want to say it from your side. We have to start. So about your innovation and what is the effect and the impact of this innovation globally if we use it. But before that, if you can tell us from where this idea comes, and what is the main solution that it provides. After that, we can go deeper.
Sure. You have touched on a very important element. Water, as you rightly said, is a very important aspect in everyone's life. And it is a finite commodity because it is depleting. The groundwater is depleting, it is reducing, and the more and water with the global warming, the sea levels are rising, so you don't have a clean water. So what we all have a responsibility to conserve the water. Whatever water we have to use, we have to use more wisely, and we have to use very less. So that is where the overall thinking of our innovations have come in. How do we save water? How do we conserve water? So where we have looked into is one is in the largest span where is the water being consumed a lot. If you look at the statistics of UAE, lot of water is going towards agriculture or forest program to the green.
I heard
Obviously,
about that a lot.
that's where UAE is investing a lot in terms of the water security, and they are also looking at various innovations to bring every new technology into the economy, and that's where you see the rain harvesting, artificial
Converting
rain
desert
also.
to the forest as well.
Even artificial raining is also an initiative of UAE. So they are looking as a forward community. From our side, what we have looked into is these two elements. One is how do we look into the limited amount of rain which is falling on the UAE soil? How do we conserve it? Second is how do we use that water more wisely.
More is wisely, yes.
So for conserving of the water, for all of this rain, together we created for this whole cycle of collecting all the rain and using the water wisely, we call it sponge city. Like a
A
sponge,
sponge city.
sponge.
Yeah. So
Like how the
interesting
sponge.
word that you use it. You call it like
Yes.
a sponge, you mean?
Yes, like how every household, every person knows about a sponge. They might have used it in the kitchen, in some
Yeah.
time in their play life as well. They have used it. How a sponge can absorb the water. A city should absorb every drop which falls on it. If a city, if you imagine,
How it's possible?
yeah, that is exactly what the solution has to happen. And if every drop is absorbed like a sponge, and then when you want to, you can squeeze the sponge and reuse the water. Similarly, a city has to do that function. When it is able to do that function, then a city is called sponge city. For doing a sponge city, there's multiple technologies. Whereas obviously I've created a process, we looked into a process of a sponge city in a more efficient way of, as I call it, there are four pillars to it. One is collecting of the rain. Second is what do we do after collecting the rain? That is storage of water. And then third
Reuse it.
element is reusing of the water. Fourth element is how do we deal with excess water? Obviously, rain is not in our control. If you have excess water, how do you deal with it? These are the four pillars of it. How we manage that, we created technologies for each of these four blocks. Different technologies in the world achieves in isolation, whereas we created technologies to solve all these problems
So
with our
your
technologies.
technology is consists of four pillars.
Yes.
Yes, first collecting, how we collect the raining water,
Yes.
how we use it, how we reuse it as well,
Store it
and
and
how we
reuse it.
store it.
Yeah. So for collecting of the water, we created permeable surfaces. That means they look exactly like your tiles and bricks, but every drop which falls on it, it will harvest. It will be collected.
You mean you use special bricks uh, on the surface, on the outside, to absorb the water?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. So every surface, the rain normally falls either on
Yeah.
houses, gardens, roads, and paving
Paving.
around the houses, paving around the communities,
Yeah,
roads,
yeah.
everywhere. So wherever that rain falls in, if you are able to collect the water more efficiently, that's where the collection is. We created permeable surfaces, which replaces curbstones, which replaces pavings, and even the asphalt also. You might
You
have
have different
seen.
materials.
Yes. So all of these materials have the tendency to absorb the water and filter it and collect it. So that is the first layer, which is,
Filter it and send it to storage, you mean?
yes, redirect it. Obviously, that is part of the engineering design on how we design a sponge city. So from the collection of water through the permeable surfaces, now that you have collected it, you need to redirect it to somewhere safer. So that is where the second leg in our
It
sponge
should
city
be
comes.
applied for the scale of city or community, or in the private building or the yards we can do it.
That's a wonderful question. Sponsity is not a one pack solution for everything. It is a solution which is modular. So you can apply at a household level, like a small house. You can apply it for a
It's
community.
affordable, you mean?
Yeah, it is modular. So you can expand it based on your usage. So you can do it at a small household level, 200 square meter house. You can do it, and you can do it for a community which is around 1,000 houses, 500 houses. You can do it. At the same time, you can do for a whole city. And the beauty about a sponge city is even with an existing infrastructure, you can retrofit into
We
it.
can retrofit it.
You can retrofit into it. So
It's so
that's what makes
important.
it very
It's
unique.
not just include the off-plan projects of the from the building that they want to start from scratch. For the existing building also we can apply
Yes,
it.
but existing building also you can incorporate it,
Very
retrofit it
nice.
into that design, so that I mean, in for example, in our UAE, where infrastructure is very much based on no water, no rainwater,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
stormwater management is often overlooked. With this one, you have that ability to retrofit it
Very
and
nice.
create your communities more resilient to water.
So, for avoiding this kind of flood that we have, that it makes many problems in the roads, how many places we need in one community, one area, to use this kind of sponge city to manage those water? All we need to cover all the roads and all the pedestrian roads or pace, or not just the specific areas that we can do apply it, and it covers all the requirements for all the areas. That's it.
See, obviously, if it is an off plan, the design could incorporate right at the beginning. But existing communities and existing buildings, there is always a low points where the water is already stagnating. For that, there is a data which is already collected. That means data is nothing but nothing complex. You have photos of areas where there
Yeah,
is
you
water
can
is being
understand
logged.
exactly.
So
Yes.
where is a low lying area? So we understand where is the water stagnation coming in. So in those particular areas, you can implement it very quickly.
Uh-huh.
You can implement it within 2 months like that, and then that whole area is no longer going to flood.
So you can
So you can
use the
isolate.
local parks to
Yes,
change it to those smart city.
yes.
That's a very, very, very
Yes, so
interesting
every
things.
low-lying area you could use it, and for example, for doing it, you don't even need to have a whole park. You could use sidewalks, side pavings also for a storage of water, so that you can remove the water from the roads where it is puddling away from the roads. So that is the most important thing. Is obviously the roads and everything is damaging because of the puddling. If you can remove the puddle very fast, then the communities have more vibrancy.
Dr. Chandra, is there any experience, the best practice here in Dubai or in UAE as well? So you can mention that's a successful, I think, experience that we have to apply this smart city
Spons
in the scale of the
Okay.
project as well.
Spancity, as such, in within UAE has not been implemented at a scale, but obviously it has started off in China. The idea, the name of a Spun City came from Chinese President Xi Jinping, Chinese president, and he has invited lots of innovators, and that's how the overall concept came about. And different innovators have come in and participated, and these technologies is one such technology which has gone in. We have about 6 cities which are completed, including Beijing, which is very famous city. For spun cities at this point in time, China is the biggest example of a whole city is converted into a spun city. And I mean, obviously, we are part of 6 cities which are converted into spun city. Our technology is being used at a scale. And now we have 30 spun cities which are being constructed. Within UAE, it is in the early days of adoption. There are a couple of pilots. We are working with the government on the
One
pilots.
thing coming in my mind, that's as you know, in this area we don't have continuous raining during the year.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have 1, 2, 3 times heavy raining with a lot of water that comes down. Span City works for this kind of weather or not? Just we need continuous raining to store and to have enough water and the capacity. I mean, what is
Yeah.
that?
See, we are discussing only about the first two elements, which is critical. Okay. So for the collecting of the rainwater, obviously 2 rains is okay, because obviously we need to calculate the storage facility based on the amount of rain we receive. But having the permeable tiles also has a dual benefit, which is lower temperature on the surfaces.
Yes.
So compared to the existing paving, existing
Yeah.
asphalt, permeable surfaces have got a air permeability. So there is air circulation. Because of this air circulation, the temperature difference between normal and permeable is at
Cooler than
least
normal.
cooler, at least 4 to 5 degrees lower,
That's great.
which is in itself is a benefit. Even when there is no rain, the surface is cooler.
Cooler.
Okay, so that's one benefit. Second is, in the storages, whatever rain we collect in these 2 rains can be used for cleaning of the roads, landscaping, 2 to 3 months. So obviously you are reducing the water consumption, reducing the demand on the other water by collecting the rain and reusing the water. If we plan the storage in a very efficient manner, even we might as well use the same water for over a 6 months period as well. If there is a possibility of planning, having such a plan. So,
With
needless to
this amount
say,
of rain that we have in UAE, average, how many days we can use this water it's enough for those days.
See, when we have rain, we have heavy rain.
Yeah, heavy rain.
So that rain, whether even if like now last week the rain
Yeah,
we,
yeah,
we
we
look
had.
at, it's around 50 to 60 mm rain we had last in 2 years ago. The flooding which we have
Yeah, more
received,
than 200.
that is 200 in 124
Yeah, yeah,
hours.
yeah. It
So if you
was.
look at those kind of rains, the water collected is very heavy. So if you plan storages at a very isolated pockets, 5,000 cubic meters in one corner, 2,000 cubic meters in one corner, that rain can be used, like I said, 2 to 3 months for irrigating some of the plants around the community. So we could irrigate for the hedges, trees around it very conservatively. Now, the third block within the Spun City is usage of the water more responsibly. Now, for that greening, if we use a technology like ours, breathable sand. Breathable sand with hydro K is a technology combination we have got.
Breathable sand.
Breathable sand,
Uh-huh.
like how the
Breathe.
breathe
Uh-huh.
is. Similarly, our sand has
Some
got,
small holes inside
yeah.
that you
So
can.
we have a special technology called breathable sand, which allows air but holds water for a longer period. So when you use that breathable sand
You use
below
it
the
for
plant,
agriculture.
yeah,
Agriculture, yes.
yes, under the plant, it will hold the water for a longer duration, so that you have 80% water saving compared to any other irrigation. And
Eighty
then it
percent.
80%.
Oh,
So that is
so much.
considerably very
So
high. So
yeah,
it's almost more powerful than arable country.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Of
And
course.
then also what we have is it allows aeration. So the roots get more aeration. Without aeration, the plant's roots are strong. When the roots are strong, tree is strong. So you have better green color, better flowers, better fruits, everything. So you are changing the dynamic of the plant's nature in the country. So now combining the water you collected and responsibly using by reducing 80% water, you now have longevity of water.
Yeah.
Whatever rain you collected, you have more water to
Yeah.
use for a longer
And
duration
more wise. Yeah.
by wisely using the technologies. So that's how the cycle goes.
How much is the cost and the price? It's affordable for private sector or for government to use it instead of the normal payment or something like that.
See, obviously, for any new technologies, why in the initial stages the cost will be higher
Yeah, no.
until the economies of scale increases. Until that point, the initial adopters will pay a slight premium, but they are the initial adopters. But as it goes along, we intend to bring the cost of our permeable paving as close to the concrete paving which is available. At this point in time, it is almost double the price
Double
of the
the
existing
price.
ones. But obviously, when you look at the premium concretes, which people at the bigger developers who use it, it is on par with it. But if you look at generic, which people use, compared to that, there is a cost is obviously higher. But it has got its purpose. Both are not comparable. You cannot compare both the purposes. So with the normal ones, you still need to build the infrastructure for handling water. It comes with other costs. With this one, it is more
Yeah,
responsible.
yeah.
And
As you
it's,
know, the all innovations at the beginning stage, they are have more cost and more price, and they're not more maybe interesting for the sector, private sector to use it. But gradually, is going to be better. The performance, the efficiency, the price, everything will be better.
yeah. So I mean,
And
like anything, see, a sparsity is not directly correlated to the cost of comparison of existing material used and new material used. It also has got benefits of
yeah, yeah,
non-tangible benefits like
yeah, yeah.
accident reduction, roads maintenance reduction. So there's a
Many
lot more
benefits you can
benefits.
get. Yes.
So those benefits outweigh these ones. Disease reduction. So when you have
If you can
more water
consider all of
stagnations,
aspect, it will be
yeah,
economical to
yeah,
use
yeah,
this.
very, because now you have mosquitoes. It reduces all of, because when you don't have water stagnation, you don't have a lot of health problems as well. So there's non-tangible benefits as well along with it. On top of it, like now breathable sand, it's already in the parity. By using breathable sand for trees, the return on investment is literally 3 months for a household,
Yeah.
and for a government projects is less than 8 months. So and the life of it is lifetime, one
Yeah,
time
yeah.
application for a
Lifetime.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
So it
But
is like that. Yeah.
uh, I know. I think these innovations, the origin of this technology is coming from China. You said yes,
The original inventor is Mr. Shin Chenji.
but
And with my addition, we have matured the
you
products.
change it a little.
Yes, we with my add-on, so we have matured the product. Now it is global, and obviously, when we establish the plants based on the
You have
adoption,
any plan to have a manufacturing here or?
yes, yes, we do. We already have identified the raw material availability here in UAE. We've already had discussions with Moya, couple government as well. We intend to establish the factory here to establish
And
to
also
manufacture
a
all our
research. You need
technology.
to have a research on those technologies to make it better or improvement.
Yes, so we already have everything. So it is a stable technology. It's not a concept. It is a technology which is used extensively, and that's a technology we'll manufacture here as well. But what we are looking at is the scale. So as this technology is being adopted within the region, UAE will be the first ones to have factory.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you very much, Dr. Chandra. I think we are going uh, finish this podcast today, but we hope to have you again, Dr. Chandra, with new innovation, new ideas, and the new projects that you had in UAE to establishing the new innovations here and to help this community be more sustainable, greener, and the better quality of life, better use of resources, natural resources, water as most important things. So thank you very much, Dr. Chandra, for your time today. And if you have any conclusion and closing remarks, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Javed. I appreciate Kotook for creating such a platform, and I really commend on this initiative to bring industry experts along with policymakers to create a platform to engage the conversation where your community is able to leverage on it. So the more people are aware of the initiatives are available, and they have more informed decisions to make. We as technology owners, we can educate people. We can, as they use the technologies, it is for the betterment of the larger communities and public. So our region needs more innovations, and now with the changing political geopolitical initiative, the food security and water security becomes more important. We all need to have these conservation, and that's where every small bit comes in handy. Your work and every developers, everyone are in support of the government's ideals. We look forward to engaging with everyone and making this UAE a better place for everyone, for us. From here, these innovations will go global because all our innovations are made from desert sand, which is
Yeah,
very important. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
is made from the desert for the problems of the desert. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Chandra, again, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.